We did a concert at the Newark Museum. I think this was around 1987. We paid tribute to Wendell Whalum, who was the conductor of the Morehouse College Choir, the men's group. And we had a break, and we went in the library, in the garden of the museum. And we had a long conversation, but I remember one thing he said: don't let the spirituals die, you know. Because see, I was used to that, having sung with the Jubilee Singers under John W. Work. And Wendell Whalum was very similar, you know, to Work in his ideas, how he presented things. But I will always remember, he says, don't ever let the spiritual die. Because you don't hear as many spirituals as you used to hear, you know.
The spiritual is a living history that the Glee Club is one of the few groups that keeps that alive. And we have the arrangers that came up, John Work was down at Fisk, and his brother. Again, R. Nathaniel Dett, Leonard DePore, Dawson, William Dawson, some of the great, African-American arrangers who worked with the spirituals and actually reinterpreted them in different forms and arranged them for different groups. Hall Johnson, and we do a lot of works by all of these arrangers, including more modern arrangers like Moses Hogan, who we lost tragically a few years ago, but had a prolific body of work that we perform a lot of. And we're always looking around for new interpretations of the spiritual. But again, this is something that I think it's important for people to hear, because the effect that the spiritual has on one is profound, especially when it's done properly.
I come together with people, you know, who make me something greater than I am by myself, something that stretches back. I mean, when you really, something that stretches back and flows through me. When I'm standing up there on a really good day, here's where the Spirit comes in. As I speak to you right now, I feel that. It's a spiritual moment. I feel the hairs in my neck, you know, when I speak to you, when on a really, really, really good day, moment, second, you know, you can feel the voices of your ancestors speaking through you. And you can actually hear that ring, you know, when it's like that, you know, and these are the first, second basses, these are the first baritones and second baritones, and these are the first tenors, the first seconds and the second seconds, and these are the second first and the first first, and they're all like that. And not only are they like that, but they're doing all of that, you know, and I get chills, but it's a beautiful thing. And the expression is verging on a thing of beauty, but it actually becomes a thing of beauty, you know. And I love that.
Come and let our swelling song mount like the whirling wind, as it meets our singing throng so blithe of heart and mind. Care and sorrow now be gone, brothers in song, sing on. Brothers, sing on, sing on. Youth is a wandering troubadour, sailing the singing breeze, wooing a maid on a distant shore, over the tossing seas. Steering by the stars above, his vessel a song of love. Brothers, souls, thus we greet you. List to our voices strong. With glad and open hearts we greet you in our festival of song. Care and sorrow now be gone. Brothers in song, sing on. Brothers, sing on, sing on.
There is a camaraderie, so to speak, that goes along with men singing, just men singing, that you don't get from anything else. It's a flow of time, space, and continuum that does not come from anything else. Basically, just men singing and going along, together. It's a feeling that you do not get from any other kind of singing. Sometimes it's reflected, like Al was saying, from your barbershop street corner symphonies, things like this. Being a part of barbershop quartets, etc. It's a different thing, different feel of music than you get, I think, than anywhere, any place, under any other circumstance. It's a genre all to itself. Complete.
It was such passion that came from the director. The passion came from the men. And when the singing wasn't going on, I could see, I could feel the love for one another. At the end of rehearsals, you could hear, hey, Joe, you got a ride home? No, man, I got you. All the time, every rehearsal, to ensure that brothers were safe, that they had a way to get back home to their families, and the care. It was just unbeatable. It was an extension of my home, my family. So now I had a new family that cared for me and reciprocated to them. And all that I could do, I would do. And part of that is how you were introduced and what these guys were going through, coming from World War II, others who were coming from the Korean War, the sacrifices, some of the injustices that was happening to these brothers who were serving our country. I mean, the duality of what it was all about, what they were about, but what they had to go through to demonstrate their love and care for their own country. It was not reciprocated to them. I saw all of that, and I could not do anything but adapt that within myself. Here I'm seeing situations that take place at my home, and it's right here in the community. It is my responsibility to pass it on, because they passed it on to me. They passed it on to Al. There will be a few other fellas who you will interview who will probably say similar kinds of things. But it was passed on to us. And then when some of the new guys come in, we wind up mentoring them as we were mentored. And we just want to keep it going.
It's made me a stronger person, one, more confident in getting to be more confident in myself, two. Brothership, three, because I lived in a house with three women, so, so brothership, definitely. Role models, people you can look up to, and, they're always there for you no matter what. Shoulder to cry on, someone to kick back, hang out with, there's a lot. The list goes on, but to me, is more brotherhood, love, support.
In the 4.5, 5 years that I've been in the group, there have been a good 7, 8 men that have joined. Most of them have been somewhere in the middle, 40-ish to 50-ish, all good voices, all really eager to be a part of the group. But when this young man was recruited, and some of us knew him from other groups, and I knew him before, it brings a little more energy, which some of us have maybe forgot that we had or forgot how to summon it up. But when you hear a good voice up on top, and we've got some basses that can make the world rumble, and you put it all together, you get a whole new feeling, of group and cohesiveness, and it gives energy. It helps. He will gain from the wisdom. We gain from his energy. And that old cake mix again, it all comes out right.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
You got me on camera.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares,